This video is for students that missed the first day of class. The first thing I want to point out to you is the class info file. This is a file that's up on the Edison website, the Edison portal. It has all sorts of information in it. What you're seeing here is a modification of the class info file. The actual file has more in it, but it's really important that you go through and take a look at that file, step through the class info file that's up on the Edison portal, and see all of the things that are in there. This file is an advantage to you. It's like an edge for you because it has so much in it. For instance, one of the things we'll have will be the telephone number for technical support for MyLabs Plus. This is the software that you'll use to do the homework. So MyLabs Plus technical support, that information is there. It points out too that the syllabus is online. The syllabus will have other information like the schedule of classes, schedule of when we'll have our classes, when you'll have your final exam, how your grades are calculated. The important thing to realize is the syllabus is online and that you can always, you don't have to worry about losing the syllabus now. You just go find it online with all of that information. Well, welcome to the class. Let me tell you what's required. You've got to have a graphing calculator, a TI-83 or TI-84. It does not say it on this particular PowerPoint, but a TI Inspire with the 84 keyboard. You have to have the 84 keyboard. That's okay. MyLabs Plus is an absolute requirement of the course. You must have MyLabs Plus. Now, we'll show you that to register in MyLabs Plus, if you do not have the money right immediately, there is a way to get a temporary ID and be granted temporary access to the software. So we'll show you that in just a little bit, but it's an absolute requirement. I have a free rental program. I have TI-82s and TI-83s available. The rental charge for the entire semester is free. However, we only have a limited number of those. So you've got to come by my office. You've got to come by my office and, of course, have a copy of your photo ID to rent it. But the numbers are limited, so if you want to take advantage of this, you need to be quick. Well, some things about this class. We have in-place tutors when available. If we can possibly staff a tutor for the class, we will when they're available. Wonderful opportunities for you as students because you'll have a student working right alongside you. The tutor and I will come around and assist you as you do problems, and you can make appointments with the tutor. And of course, I have my office hours, so both of us you can see after class. It's real easy for me. Office hours, look in the syllabus and determine when my office hours are. If they don't fit, you can see about an appointment. With the in-place tutor, you simply tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, I'd like to, I need an hour or so, what days, just set up an appointment. Heavy computer usage, you'll use the computer to do the homework. The lecture notes are online. We have some videos, and there's a nice little trick if you want to just find all of the videos for the class. If you go to YouTube and then search on no side resources, it will bring them up. We have some applications, one or two applications, you'll see those in the class. There's a special pre-Math 1033 prep module. Well, let me show you. Let's go back and talk about YouTube. Here, you see if you search on no side resources, you search on no side resources, that brings up the videos that we have. You can see some of them here. And now let's go and talk about that pre-Math 1033 module. This is using Alex, which is an artificial intelligence module. If you click on this, if you go into the class info file and you view the class info file in full screen mode, this hyperlink becomes active. And then you can simply click on this hyperlink and it will take you to the place on the internet where you would enter the class code. See, here's the class code. And notice I give you the class code here in red. So this is pre-math 1033. There is a small choice for this. Let's talk about grading policies. You have a quiz every day, but the nice thing, or one of the nice things about this quiz, is that I do not penalize you if you get the answer wrong. So if you work on the quiz, you do have to work on it now. You do have to at least try. But if the answer is wrong, you'll still get 100. Tests, there are no makeup tests unless you've got a court order or some legal precedent or something that would, of course, supersede this rule. There's a no makeup test rule. I do drop the lowest score, and for most people, this would be satisfactory to them, a nice trade-off. But if it's not something that you could be comfortable with, and you say, hey, I'm sorry, but I need to find another section, we understand. Card policy, you can have one 3x5 card on any exam except the final. You are not allowed to have any type of 3x5 card or anything else on the final exam, but for other tests you can. We've already talked about homework is 10% of your grade. MyLabs Plus is required. And of course the final exam is cumulative. Grades are not curved. So remember, no makeup tests. Now you should have gotten an email that would have hyperlinks to some videos that would talk about how to access the class files. In other words, how to get on the Edison website and access files that are up there. And so a video on getting started with MyLabs Plus. So you should have gotten an email with those hyperlinks. If you're looking in the class info file in full screen mode, it has, these would be hyperlinks. And so if you're in full screen mode, all you have to do is click on things. So this video would be the one on getting you started with MyLabs Plus. Here's the one on getting started doing the homework, assuming that you've set everything up like this for MyLabs Plus. And then if you need temporary access, you'd need temporary access if you needed a few days to get the funds to purchase the MyLabs Plus. You can view this video and it shows you how you can go about having a temporary access code for MyLabs Plus. By the way, the homework dates, the due dates, here's a page, the sample page would have assignments. So here's the assignment on the right. If you look over to the left, it tells you the due date. So you can always determine your due dates. Class conduct, obviously, if there's some conduct that just we couldn't allow, it would be detrimental to students. Normally, we're able to give you a written warning with an explanation of exactly what you're doing, and then next would come written suspension, a grade suspension there. In really serious conditions, if something was really horrible, obviously we'd have to dismiss you from class immediately. Help is available. This same slide, of course, is in the class info file. Make sure you take a good look at it there. I'll let it stay up here for a few moments, but we have a lot of places that you can get help. And of course, in-place tutors, if it's appropriate for the section that you have, absolutely terrific thing. Remember, I have office hours, but then we have the Math Center, the Tutoring Center, Academic Success, and other things available to assist you. And of course, here's a special slide for the Math Center. Textbook software package. You have an option to purchase the textbook combined with the software access package, or you can purchase the access package by itself separately without the textbook. If you buy the software access package, a part of that access allows you to get to a PDF copy of the textbook. This PDF copy of the textbook, it is Edison's policy that the student can use this to satisfy purchasing the textbook requirement, the textbook purchase requirement. So let's make sure everybody understands this. You do not have to purchase the physical hard copy of the textbook unless you want to. If you want to save money, you can simply buy the software access kit and it will have a PDF copy of the textbook. Others may want to have a physical copy of this textbook to keep, and certainly you can do that. Just decide to purchase the actual hard copy. But you don't have to. This slide is real interesting. It goes through and says, what would you need to do to get a certain grade in the course? And we'll have a review for each test. We'll have a written review available to you on the Edison website. And this shows the number of times a student needs to review that review in order to get a certain grade. Temporary access code. The video, a separate video will cover this, but let me just point out right here it says temporary access. If you click on that, it will allow you, it'll go through and take you through different screens that you'd be granted a temporary access code. Now remember, this is only temporary, so it's not going to last forever. And at a certain time, you do have to come up with the funds and actually purchase the product. Well, I think you can see you have a lot of tools available to you to aid your success. So it's very likely, if you've got the time to work with us, that you will be successful. And when you are, please remember to reward yourself.